I'm just going to change the door panel, put a new speaker in the door of the Toyota Crown 2012 Majesta. It's a pretty easy job to do. First of all, start with the window down. A couple of hidden screws you have to remove. So first of all, there's a little panel inside here. You can just pop that off. There we go, that'll come out. That'll expose one Phillips screw. The whole silver section here can come off. Somehow, bit of a challenge. There we go, we're underneath it. There we go. That pops off. Obviously unclip the door connections. Okay, let's just remove that in one piece. We'll remove these two screws that hold this in. Yeah, this film is just going to have a lot of breaks in it because these sunglass cameras only record for 1 minute at a time. Later. And we'll unscrew that one there. Got all those 3 screws out. Now simply with a panel, you just find anywhere you can get your fingers under. And just, oops, forgot this little screw here. Yeah, don't forget that one there. So that's 4 screws in total that have to come out. Right, now we can continue just pulling that off and pull that up, and then we get to this stage here. We have to try and lift it up. The channel and everything will come up. Yeah, that's just the channel coming up, and I've noticed it separates from the door jamb for the first 2. The other side did that as well, which actually you require that to happen to come off. It needs to happen so it can be done up on the other side. Pull those off. Simply lift that up and unclip those. Unclip all these wire connectors. And then there's the light down the bottom. Just found it easier to turn that over to pull that one out. There's a little clip in there as well. And that's the door panel off. We'll just put that aside for now. Okay, we'll undo the speaker. Okay, that's undone. We'll take the 3 screws off. It actually really is a quick job. And these speakers are pretty cheap and nasty. And then there's just like a sticky film which holds it on, and then they outcome. And as you see, they're pretty cheap. For the new speakers, I've just got these plastic fitment little gadgets here, step ups. You just make sure they fit. These are made for Toyota, these ones, so they'll all be pretty straightforward. I've just got this one-sided foam here, which I just use to take any vibration out of the speaker and out of the doors. And get that unpeeled. And I just pretty much start anywhere and just work your way around, so that way when it's mounted to the door there'll be no vibration. We've done this in a previous car before, so using the same stuff, and it works pretty well. It's probably worth just a couple of dollars on eBay to buy. I'll just keep going around. When you've done your full circle, you just simply just cut that off. Stick that down. Doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Let's kick that out of the way. Okay, with the other one, that little open-sided one fit on nicely there, which is what I'll do there. So just using the same screws that mounted the other speaker, we just use to mount this gadget. Just put them loose there to start with, just so it's can fit. So when all three holes have got the screws in, then just tighten them up. Obviously don't go too hard with it, but still make sure it's firm, because you don't want them going anywhere because of the vibration. Okay, I've got a little hole in the side here where the wires will go straight through. Okay, so the earth is the one with the black stripe on it. That'll be pretty obvious. And it'll only fit in one side of these speakers, but depending on what brand of speakers, there could be different colours and so forth. Okay, I noticed you've got the little funny notch there, so the one opposite, so that'll be the blue wire, that'll be the positive on here. Okay, so we'll just keep that in mind. We'll just feed that pretty much all the way through. You'll have some holes there that line up. Yep, so I was going to say hopefully that'll sit there and won't fall, but it did. Okay, they did give you proper mounting screws with this, but I found these tiny little 15mm timber screws to be perfect. So we'll try and get these in without damaging anything. Okay, so I've got one screw in. Two. Three. It's a bit hard to see the bottom one, but I can see it. Don't know if the camera can. And just in there. So obviously when you get your 4 screws in, just give them all that second nip up, so they can obviously don't come loose. And just before I go getting too excited to put everything back, just obviously, as any good technician should do, is just test as they go to make sure there's no problems along the way. I'll just quickly strip those off. The black stripe was the earth. and the positive. Just, oops, try and hold them in place. And give that a start. As there's a few speakers in this car, it's pretty hard to tell which ones are working and so forth, but yep, touch that. Feel the vibrations, it's working fine. Oh, that's just digital radio got playing, so I keep losing signal. Okay, so everything there works. Oh, and turn that off again. Okay, just testing this and making sure, pulling the sheathing back. Not going to use the best connectors for this because I've just moved house and all of my connectors are packed somewhere and I can't find them. So I'm just going to use some interceptors. They seem to work fine. Okay, so separate the blue and the green. The blue's the positive, the green's the negative. Found that out through just simple testing. Okay, so the wire with the black line is negative. I'll put that on the thin side. And the green is negative. Ah, crap. Let's pull it. Oh, let's go again. Let's have another attempt. Everything just fell apart on me as I was doing it. Yes, it's negative to negative. Oh, we'll clamp that up. And we'll get the positive through. And we'll get that clamped. Okay. Now that there, oops, there's a bit of positive wire hanging out there, I'll get rid of that. Don't want that touching on anything. Another test. We'll turn that back off. Okay, I've worked out how to shut that beeping up. I'll open the other door, shut the other beeping up. So let's get this sucker back together. Okay, oh, where's my little footstool? Okay. Now it's all in reverse direction. What I did is I found it a little easier to wedge a little washing basket under the door, because it just holds the weight on this when you've got to put it all back in. I'll get that in the right way. There we that obviously works. See, so when you just put your door panel on, that holds the weight of it instead of keep pulling on all the cables. Go ahead and plug everything back in. Make sure you plug the right ones into the right spot. Around the right way. Okay, I'm starting to run out of battery power here in the glasses. Okay, that'll actually just go back to the other thing. Okay, so this is where it comes to the tricky part, where I said that this does not want to play. Well, tilt the door a little bit, get the back part in. Hopefully it'll click. It doesn't want to play, and then all of a sudden everything just clicks into place. So that's just clicked in. Try and get the back part in. No, the front's just clicked out again. No, it hasn't. And the window's just there, so it should go up nice and tight against it. There we go. That's got that in. Then that'll actually pop in there. Everything pops back into place, and there you go. Make sure you, oops, I have to unclip this again at the bottom so I can pull my cable out. There we go. Now we flip it all back in. Okay, if I run out of battery, 1, 2, 3, 4 screws go